Hello, my friends. Griffin Lucier here. I'm here with another stab at our Jund list. Um, been pretty happy with the deck so far. I made a couple of changes probably since our last run through. We have added Carnival Carnage, a couple of those, another Thrashing Brontodon to try and help with the guild summits and other artifacts and enchantments, and it's also just a big creature, so it's kind of nice. We've cut down on Fine Finality, we're down to one of, and I'm down to just a couple of Chupacabras and no more of the Direfleet Daredevils. And we're going to see if we really missed those or not. We've added we've got Rakdos Firewheeler, which is a card that I've tried out one of and was pretty impressed with. And so it's pretty similar to our last list. I've only made one change in the sideboard, and that's we cut a Carnage Tyrant for a Midnight Reaper. Just kind of a similar effect, or a similar, not a similar effect, but the matchups that you bring it in against are similar. And it's a cheaper effect. Than the Carnage Tyrant, and we've added a land, gone up to 24, so we hopefully get to hit our early land drops a little easier. We've got lots of Explore creatures and District Guides still, so we still should be should be good there. But in this format, it seems like missing your land drops is just lights out. It's really hard to come back from that. But if you do hit your land drops, the cards are just so powerful. We've got like Angrath, Fine Finality, Vivian Reed, CGN Commander, Rakdos Firewheeler, I always say Freewheeler, Rekindling Phoenix. These are all-star cards. These are all just like, if we had 4 of one of these, and that would be a very powerful top end, and instead we've got, just the whole smattering of all of them. And Carnival Carnage is also kind of a pretty good card in itself as far as late game power. So the idea is to hit your land drops and to power through the mid game and just kind of take over with your really powerful cards. And as long as you get to the mid game, hopefully these cards show up and you get there. In the meantime, the fact that a lot of our land drops are creatures in themselves, the Explorer creatures, the District Guides, it puts on a little pressure that you wouldn't necessarily get if we were casting, Open the Gates or other ways to get our lands, or just playing 26 lands or 28 lands and playing a bunch of lands that came into play tapped on the first few turns or whatever. These put on a little bit of pressure and help you hit your land drops, which is what you need. They don't need to be able to close the game out themselves. They just need to kind of push you into the mid game and keep your opponent just enough off balance, so that your big swingers can come out and close out the game. So that is the idea with this list. We're going to take it through what is called a traditional event in MTG Arena. And yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, so here we are. We are on the play. Looks like a pretty good hand. Perfectly reasonable to me. Opponent has mulliganed to 6. We are hoping, obviously, to hit on our Branch Walker. Would love to see a land from the Branch Walker. Specifically, a red land would be the best. Did not hit there. We got a couple of stabs at this. But once we get the District Guide going, we should be smooth sailing as far as our mana is concerned. Gonna bin Seeker Squire. Okay, so that's not the worst. We still get to go get our mountain. We're not going to be able to cast Rekindling Phoenix or Rakdos Firewheeler next turn, but we can leave up Bedevil mana. This looks like a matchup where Bedevil's going to be pretty good. Evolving Wilds is an interesting one, though, from our opponent. Yep. Just going to keep on cruising here. Going to force them to make a play. Chupacabra would probably be their best plan here. Hostage Taker's pretty good. So, but it's really kind of not, because we get to kind of, yeah, this isn't going to work out super well for them. I'm actually going to let that resolve. Lots of times you want to use your removal spell in response to Hostage Taker's ability, but I actually want to let that resolve so that my creature does get taken so that I get it back. That way, we get another Explore trigger. And we didn't hit off of the Branch Walker, but we did hit the next card down, and now we should just be able to kind of wrap this up with a Phoenix. Hopefully. Okay, so your opponent has seen enough. I'm guessing this is just Sultai, but with a little bit different mana base, maybe a little budget. Income, you know, the cast downs, the Golgari Queen, Vraska's Contempt. These are the cards that are really pretty good in the matchup. So we've got 5 cards that we just brought in. I like to take out the Brontodons here. They're not that effective. They don't hold up very well against Wildgrowth Walker. If you are both playing this kind of like, well, I want to get to the ground and play a big creature. If they're on the Wildgrowth Walker plan, then their version of that plan is better than yours. So to me, I don't even want to have that be a thing. Other cards to take out, I'm a little wary of taking out the Seeker Squires and Branch Walkers. Sometimes I'll trim those if I can't think of anything else to take out, or I want a lot of top end. But we're on the draw, so I usually like to leave most of them in. I'll probably cut 1 here. And then, let's see. I think I want to trim on Siege Gang Commander. And kind of a judgment call here. I think on the draw... No, you know what? On the draw, Carnival Carnage might be kind of more important, but this deck might not even have Llanowar Elves in it. That being said, you can kind of get a good tempo boost off of using Carnival Carnage. I think I'm going to cut a Rakdos Firewheeler. Let's see how we do. Very unscientific. Just kind of always, tuning, testing, tinkering with the deck. See what you want for your sideboard plans. This hand looks fantastic. We've got Lava Coil for an early Wildgrowth Walker. We've got District Guide that's going to ramp us into Vivian Reed, hopefully. Breeding Pool Llanowar Elves, so they do have elves in the deck. Carnival Carnage is good against Llanowar Elves in 2 ways. One is that it can pick off the Llanowar Elf itself, right? Or you can use it to let them kind of play out their stuff and then get the last 2 cards in their hand. When they have Llanowar Elves, especially when they're on the play, then they don't have a lot of cards. They don't have a lot of action. Here, I think I'm just going to play Lava Coil. They didn't play a Wildgrowth Walker, they didn't play a Jade Light Ranger, and they didn't play a Merfolk Branch Walker. So I don't think that that's getting really much better unless they have a Hostage Taker. But that's kind of a ways away. Yeah, it looks like they're having a little bit of a mana problem here. We're going to play District Guide, and I'm going to go get the Forest. I don't often like to go get the Forest. With Rakdos Firewheeler and Bedevil in the deck, it's like a little awkward to play the Forest, or, get the Forest as one of your early land drops. So it's not the best. But we do want to hit double green for our Vivian Reed. Like, I feel like the way we lose this game is if we kind of stall out on action here. We really need to punish the mana-screwed player as fast as you can. Here, I think I want to play District Guide. That could be wrong. It could be actually better to just play Seeker Squire and Branch Walker. I'm going to try that plan instead. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to tap my mana correctly. The reason I don't want to play a Phoenix right now is because I want to ensure that I hit a land drop next turn, and I also want to, which we did, and I also want to kind of play around Disdainful Stroke. Doesn't really do me any good. You know, I don't think I want that. At this stage in the game, making them discard 2 of their 6 or 7 cards isn't really going to help. Okay. Yeah. If I run into a Disdainful Stroke there, and then I miss my land drop, we just wasted a turn. We should be probably spending these turns as efficiently as we can, trying to get as much stuff resolved. Yeah, so Mana Stumble, that sucks from our opponent, and the first game was kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, when you play Seeker Squire, Merfolk Branchwalker, District Guide, you get a lot of wins where, you know, you were developing, but also adding to the board, and then all of a sudden, now they're in crunch time because their life total is a little bit lower than they thought that it was going to be. So, and then when they tried to answer with the Hostage Taker, which would normally be a really good play, but we had the answer for it, and we just barely, kept them off base enough to really close that one out before their deck got going. And then this second game just had a mana screw problem. But, that is a cost of playing a lot of our elves, is that if you lean on a hand, oh, well, I've got 2 lands and then on a Llanowar elf, so it's basically a 3-land hand. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a 2-land hand. So, clearly, it was probably a perfectly fine hand for the opponent, and it's pretty unfortunate, but that is a cost of playing Llanowar elves. And so, anyway, yeah, we move on to 1-0. Off to a good start. All right. Okay, back for the second round. This hand is going to be a mulligan, of course. This hand looks great, though. Keep that. Opponent also mulligan to 6. Always a little careful when I'm playing against a Teferi avatar. I don't think I want to draw Seeker Squire. We have a good 2-mana play here. What I mean by that is that, you have to kind of evaluate your hands based on what you think your opponent is playing against, and it's really hard to do that online. If my opponent is playing a control deck, then this hand isn't very good. Like, 2 Bedevils off the top is not what you want to see against a control deck. So let's play a Branchwalker. I'm just going to go ahead and take the 2 damage there. District Guide looks great. We can go get a second black source so that we can actually cast these Bedevils. Moment of Craving. So main deck Moment of Craving. This is probably a Esper control deck. If we want to go and get a Swamp. So now we have Bedevil available for any Teferis. Sometimes these people just play, normal creatures too. Lyra. There are some good stuff. There's some good stuff out there. We're gonna Mortify the District Guide. Are we gonna Moment of Craving? No, apparently not. I don't really want to expose this Brontodon to Kaya's Wrath or Counterspell or whatever. I kind of just want to leave up Bedevil. I feel like the way that we lose this game is them getting a lot of card advantage off of Teferi. What I would really love to have happen here is our opponent to play Teferi and have us Bedevil it. Fortunately, instead they had Chemister's Insight, which is really good for them. Doesn't look like they want to do anything yet. So maybe now I will try this Brontodon. The reason is that next turn, well, we'll see if we have enough black mana for it. But we might be able to snag 2 counterspells out of their hand. If they go Teferi, untap, they would have 3 mana available. We Bedevil once. They counter, Bedevil again. But looks like we're probably instead running into a Kaya's Wrath here. If I had to guess. It also could just be Teferi. Nope, Kaya's Wrath. Okay, so now the question is, do they have Negate? We could play around Negate by playing Rekindling Phoenix, but we're also playing around Syncopate, and I think the Vivian Reed is like just a much better play. So I don't really feel like I want to run into a Syncopate. It is better to play Vivian before you play your land drop. I don't think I want to take that risk. Okay, so Vivian has landed.
How did the wilds are my shield.
I'll take a Phoenix here. It's fine with me. The reason I want to play Vivian there instead of Phoenix is that if my opponent untaps and just plays Vraska's Contempt, they could even do something like land, Teferi, untap, play Vraska's Contempt. And that would be pretty bad for us.
This isn't a fight you can win.
I think they're just going to minus on
Let's
Vivian,
take it back.
which is pretty good for our Bedevil. Our multiple copies of Bedevil. Interesting. How about a Fire Wheeler? Now they kept up 2 mana. That's a little interesting. But the thing is I can only cast 1 spell this turn anyway. So I think it might as well be the Fire Wheeler. If I could cast 2 Bedevils, then I would play Bedevil, think it might get countered, cast another one. I think we're just going to go with the Fire Wheeler here. Okay, so it landed. That's great. We got to pick off Teferi and add to our board. 14 isn't the most amount of life. I guess if I had known that I was about to draw Fire Wheeler, I probably would have taken a land instead of a Rekindling Phoenix there, but I mean, I guess it was a consideration. But it's tough to, you know, put away a Rekindling Phoenix when you have the opportunity to play it. Go ahead and attack with our Fire Wheeler, see what happens. Maybe a Mortify. Vraska's Contempt. Okay, so gotta believe that they're playing Absorb on this Phoenix. I'm gonna go ahead and pay 2 life. It's a little bit of a telegraph here. Play a Phoenix. I'm sure this is getting absorbed, but at least we are. At least we have a backup copy here. Okay, so nothing there. I think we're gonna play the Phoenix again. Because again, they would probably like to absorb this. And they do. Okay, so now we have Bedevil up for a Teferi. And Wrath or Vivian. I think the answer is Vivian. If I'm going to do that, I got to tap my mana better than that. And hopefully they will, at some point, run out of counter spells here. Not yet. Okay. No Teferi, so that's good. They're also not drawing, like, a bunch of cards. They're not using Chemister's Insights or anything like that, so that's good. So hopefully their hand is just a bunch of like removal spells, cast downs, mortifies and stuff, and then one of these planeswalkers will get them. But another counter spell would be pretty bad for us. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go with the Seeker Squire. Get a moment of cravingness in response. Looks like it. Okay, so our opponent has a ton of life gain in their deck. Pretty happy to take a, you know, draw a card and take a removal spell out of their hand with our Seeker Squire, which is like kind of in late game situations a pretty dead draw. Now we are in trouble. I think we got like 1 turn to draw Vivian here. Yeah, and that's not it. Yep. I think that, yeah, that's rough. They do have plenty of cards in their library. I don't really know exactly how we can get out of this. I think it probably involves Siege Gang Commander or something. So I think I'm gonna bin Brasswig Golgari Queen and say go. Too bad. I think if the Search for Escanta was one card down, I think we would be in like really good shape here, obviously, because Rascal Golgari Queen can just come down and take care of it. And not a lot of opponents play the main deck Negate. That might actually not be true. I'm not sure. I feel like I don't see it very often. Just gonna be Devil this in response.
Now what? No time for a break.
Once they get the Search for Escanta online in the late game, it's really tough. We don't run any copies of Assassin's Trophy, which would be like the perfect answer. And with an opponent at 27 life, which is quite a lot considering that at one point they were down to 14 being attacked for 4. Doesn't look like it's the best for us. Let's just go ahead and play a District Guide, go get a land. Pretty close to ready to throw in the towel here, but the thing is we've got these Bedevils to take care of opposing Teferis. With one in the graveyard already, I wonder how many they actually play. Probably 4? Sometimes I wonder, you know. Can we get rid of all of the Teferis and then they don't have any win conditions anymore? Alright, so that was a turn that we could have drawn something and resolved it, but we did not. Okay, so I think they're probably pretty safe to play a Teferi and take over the game here. If they have a third one. Oh, I'm going to try and find it, though. Okay. There was a way we were going to get back into this game. I think it was with 2 copies of Rekindling Phoenix. I wonder if they have Syncopate as their last card there. I don't know. Don't think it was worth to get any other of our creatures. Yeah. Just Phoenix. This is the best thing we can do right now. We don't have any copies of Carnage Tyrant in the library. Or in the 75. So there's a Contempt on one. They can use their 2 removal spells to kill this other one, which I guess they might as well do, but I mean, they're kind of do whatever they want to for the rest of this game, probably.
I won't hide from the world.
So there's the other Teferi, and we are out of copies of Bedevil. We could draw a removal spell for that right now, though. And that's not it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pack this one in. With the Search plus Teferi surviving, I don't think that we really have a shot. Alright, so in this matchup, we're going to bring in 4 Duress, Midnight Reaper, Brontodons, and Golgari Queen. We're going to take out Chupacabra. We're going to take out Lava Coil. I think Carnival Carnage is okay. Siege Commander is not my favorite because of Kaya's Wrath. And Rakdos Firewheeler isn't the best either. We have to cut one more card. 4 Brontodon is kind of a lot, but really Search for Escanta is a major problem. I think I might just cut a Seeker's Squire. Now, Thief of Sanity is a problem, but I think that you really have a tough time winning when you draw a removal spell and they don't have the Thief of Sanity. So that's why I'm a little worried about leaving in removal spells. They're also on the draw, though, so it's possible that Vraska's Contempt is a little bit of a consideration. Bedevil and Vraska's Contempt are kind of my my safety valve against those 2 cards, or against Thief of Sanity, because they also have some utility in hitting Teferi. So I think I'm going to do this. give this a shot, see how it goes. I don't like Chupacabra. You know, it's possible that Fire Wheeler is actually just better than Vraska's Contempt because it's better against... It's just, as a 4-mana answer, it would be better against the Thief. Let's try something like this. Because the Fire Wheeler has a bunch of upside. Sure. This looks good. It's not the best against a Thief of Sanity. And we will find out if they have that right now. Looks like they don't. They've got Kaya's Wrath, Karn, Teferi, another Kaya's Wrath. I'm thinking I want to take the Karn. Rekindling Phoenix looks pretty good against this hand. As long as we can get there. Opponent in the tank about their turn 1 play. They also are missing black mana, which is pretty important when their hand has 2 copies of Kaya's Wrath. So there's a chance that we get to put our creatures on the table here, and then they'll live. For a while, at least. We draw a 3rd land. That's kind of what we're looking for here, is a land number 3. That's going to be pretty critical. We can get this district guide to resolve, and I think we're pretty smooth sailing. Opponent is either in the tank, or maybe they decided to check out the Star City Games coverage, or I'm not sure, but that's not going to be a good for them. Seeker Squire. Don't think we want a Branch Walker. Sometimes, you know, playing the original Magic Online, I would worry, you know, oh man, there's an internet connection problem. I hope it's not my connection. It's really hard to tell. But when they go ahead and F6 through their own turn, probably them. Well, opponent, isn't going well for you. Okay, so our opponent has lost the game. Does that count for the match too? Oh, that's rough. That's unfortunate. To be fair, I think we were going to win that game. I think, even with, I mean, you know, just from the duress and the fact that we were hitting our land drops and that we had a Rekindling Phoenix that looked like it was going to resolve. Who knows what they were going to draw, but I think we had a really good shot that game. That being said, you know, you feel bad whenever an opponent just kind of loses the game automatically due to their own internet connection or something. You know, who knows? Maybe they're I don't know, their little nephew came and accidentally knocked the cord out of the wall or something, and now they're lost their traditional event. Feel bad for you. But we're gonna go ahead and take our win and move on to the next round. All right, we're here for round 3. Runcar Snowpen. Cool name. We had a first round with some mana issues from our opponent, and a second round with some internet issues for our opponent. I think I'm going to keep this. It's a little awkward, the Forest Firewheeler. But we're on the draw. We have Branch Walker. I think we're going to hit some land drops here. We have, you know, if we draw too much green mana, then we have Thrashing Brontodon to play. The Overgrown Tomb was a great draw. Still looking for a second red. Dawn of Hope right out the gates here, huh? So this is probably going to be a Turbo Fog situation. Luckily, we've found 2 of our 5 disenchant effects in our hand. So, not going to argue with that. Let's go ahead and play Overgrown Tomb and Brontodon. I don't think they usually have any kind of like removal for a creature, so they can't just, you know, target this Brontodon. But there's the Wilderness Reclamation. So I think we attack with everything. If they're gonna use their mana to make a 1/1 to chump block with, then I'm kind of okay with that. Alright, and now let's play a Seeker's Squire. I'm gonna set a stop in their second main phase. Angrath, you say? I don't think I want Angrath. I think I'm... Yeah, okay. Alright, I can be talking to that. Rootbound Crag. Go ahead. I'll see what they do in their mana here. Look like Chemister's Insight. Sure. So now, you know, making them discard cards doesn't look the greatest. But we've got to stop in their second main phase. Which is, I think, the right time to try and neutralize this Wilderness Reclamation. And we're going to very carefully just stop in their second main phase. And we're going to shoot this Wilderness Reclamation. So, they're going to have 5 cards in hand. The question is, do we play Vivian Reed or do we play Angrath? I think it's Angrath. It adds a little bit to our clock. We actually have them dead next turn.
No steel.
Because Rakdos Fire Wheeler damage. So on board, they need to do something about it this turn. So they have another Reclamation. The thing is that Vivian Reed wasn't going to be able to stop this Reclamation anyway. We also weren't going to ever have enough mana to Brontodon. Okay. So that's very good for us.
No fire.
Looks like they meant to... You know, it's kind of funny as people get used to the client here. It's a little awkward sometimes. Let's go ahead and attack with everything. Let's see if they have, you know, Settle the Wreckage, Root Snare. Settle the Wreckage. Okay. So if they're going to use Settle the Wreckage on that, then I'm pretty happy, really. So let's go ahead and Vivian and take out this Wilderness Reclamation. Looks like we played around Syncopate. Thinking about some stuff. Probably thinking about how they wish that they had cast Nexus of Fate last turn, but didn't. Gonna make a creature with Dawn of Hope. Okay. We don't quite have lethal damage here.
You can't stop nature.
So let's go ahead and get a land. I think the plan is going to be to Fire Wheeler. Make them discard.
No fire. No
Fire Wheeler. I'm going to put them to 1. And then I'll probably play a Phoenix too. Looks like I actually have to play the Blood Crypt to have quad red. So we go to 16, which is kind of a mistake, but doesn't matter really at all at the same time. Rakdos Fire Wheeler, put them to 1. They could have Absorb. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it looks like they don't. Now let's play a Phoenix. Okay. So we got out of that one pretty lucky. In come Duress and 2 Brontodons and Vraska. And out come Chupacabra, the Fire Wheeler, Lava Coil. I need to cut one more card. I kind of like CGN Commander in this matchup. I think it's okay. Fine Finality is pretty poor, though. I like having an aggressive start. So I like all the Explorer creatures. In District Guide, you know, you don't want to stumble against them. You want to have a lot of disenchant effects. So we got Vraska, Brontodon, and Vivian Reed, so we can get rid of a Search for Escanta. They also have Dawn of Hope, which is a big deal. And yep. See how this goes. So far, we've ran into an opponent who got very mana screwed and lost. Ran into an opponent who had an internet connection problem and lost. And now we've run into an opponent who didn't set a stop on their own end step and lost a game because of that. And yeah, that's rough. That's rough. This is kind of what happens when you play Magic Arena. For now, I think the players are getting better. I think that, you know, soon it's not going to be, you know, it's rough when the interface or other kind of outside factors make you lose the game. You know, the first match we won, you know, fair and square. That's just Magic where you get mana screwed, whatever. But it's rough when the interface or outside factors kind of make you lose a game. This hand looks okay. We have the Brontodon, which is really good. We'll need a second green source for it. We also have Rekindling Phoenix. On the draw, I'm going to keep this hand. You know, Duress would obviously be the best thing we could draw here or whatever, but this is going to go ahead. We're going to play the Rootbound Crag first, and then the Swamp second. So Rootbound Crag, then Swamp. Do I want to just play Stomping Ground here? I don't think so. I think I'd rather play the Branch Walker off of Swamp. I don't think I need to play the Stomping Ground. Excuse me. Is this getting Syncopated? It is. Okay, so it's interesting to note that they have Syncopate in their deck. It's a good thing that we drew that Stomping Ground then, otherwise we might be in trouble. Plains. No Knight of Autumn. Just go ahead and run out Thrashing Brontodon. The thing is that they have another Syncopate. It's not like Syncopate's going to be bad against his hand, you know. So I wonder if they just kind of morph into like a control shell here. It looks like they're playing Plains. At least a few Plains, so... okay. Alright. So let's see if they can beat Murmuring Mystic. I'm glad we got those counterspells out of their hand before they had the Mystic in play. But Mystic's an interesting one. Let's see if they minus on things. They are going to minus on things. Okay. So that lets us resolve Vivian. And a Duress. I like that. I don't think I want to Duress this turn. I think it's more important that we Vivian, and we're going to get our Phoenix back, which is kind of cool.
Meet my newest friend.
And Alex, looks like next turn we have Phoenix plus Duress available. We have a Disenchant effect with Vivian available to us. Things are looking okay here. Revitalize is really good with Murmuring Mystic, though. However, their life total isn't exactly what we're attacking at this moment. Knight of Autumn as a 4/3. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. And now they're going to attack Vivian. Makes sense. They get to untap some lands. So we're going to start with the Duress. Yep. Lyra Dawnbringer. That's a good one to know about. Looks like I really want to protect Vivian Reed this turn here. Let's go ahead and play... Let's tick up.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
Brontodon's probably good enough. Blood Crypt tapped. Phoenix. Okay, so... the good news is we have an answer to the Lyra. The bad news is that means we can't attack Teferi yet. We'll have to use the Vivian minus on the Lyra. Interesting to go for like a creature plan out of the sideboard here. You know, they got rid of my Duress. You know, they negated, they not technically didn't negate, but they have neutralized the effectiveness of the duress. Ooh, this is interesting. So they can put Vivian to 4, but I'm pretty happy with blocking this Knight of Autumn. They could have a removal spell for the Phoenix of some sort, but not typically in blue and green. Is that a thing? And so now they tap their token. So we get to kill Lyra. I would not be surprised if we ran into a copy of Settle the Wreckage here. But we have a pretty good follow-up if that's the case. Yeah, okay. So Settle on the one Phoenix. Not the worst for us here. We're going to get a Swamp. We can play a Phoenix and a Brontodon. So they have the ability to take down Vivian Reed if they want to.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
This Mystic is a little problematic for us. That was an interesting attack. I don't think that was the right move. Now Teferi goes up. If we find an answer to this bird token, then we get to get Teferi out of here.
I've seen things that would break someone
No,
like
just some lands, so not the best. Let's just go ahead and attack Teferi with both, I think. Could run into another Settle the Wreckage. That's certainly a possibility, but I don't think I can play around 2 of that effect. Okay. So, let's go Branchwalker. See what we get. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to play Seeker Squire as well. And I'm going to play Around Tomb. We have a lot of mana, and so we can convert that into cards pretty effectively. You know, we have a lot of extra land drops that we've hit. Having this Teferi in play for this long is a problem. But it doesn't look like they have an answer right now to our flying creature. So we might actually be able to get them. Just going to go ahead and get a Brontodon here. I want to attack Teferi before they have a chance to counter any of our spells. Let's try Brontodon. Let's play Vraska first. Doesn't really matter. I think what I'm gonna do is sacrifice. No, I'm just gonna sacrifice on land. There's too much that can go wrong by sacrificing the Rekindling Phoenix token, or Rekindling Phoenix, and then having a token around. Cleansing Nova is a possibility, but I'm actually pretty happy if they cast Cleansing Nova. So I'm going to play this Thrashing Brontodon. They might have Essence Scatter for it, though, which is really bad if they... Yeah, that could have been the wrong play. That could have been the wrong play, for sure.
Hurry!
This Teferi's causing problems, that's for sure. Luckily, we have Bedeviled in the deck. And if they're going to go after Vivian Reed like that, then they're going to need some kind of effect here that's going to make them a new flyer, or else we get to take down this Teferi. So, if that's the case, let's go ahead and +1 Vivian first, see what's going on.
Come to me.
Let's go for another Phoenix. Can't say no to that. Yep. I want to attack Teferi. See what happens here. I want to do all this before I start casting these Rekindling Phoenixes to play around counter spells. Settle again. Wow. Another one. So let's play. Let's go ahead and sacrifice this mountain right now.
Alive.
The rest looks interesting to me. I'm going to go ahead and cast that. Looks like we can cast everything here. Take that Cleansing Nova, yes please. Although, I mean, it wouldn't be bad for us right now if they wrath, because we have 2 Phoenixes, but... Alright, so now they're in a spot where they need to... I mean, with Teferi drawing 2 cards a turn, you can't really... It's really hard to dictate what they're going to do in a turn. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, these Murmuring Mystics have been off the chain. They're going to take... They're going to lose 2 birds, at least, to kill this Vivian. Which is probably a good deal for them, but still.
Let's do this again.
So they don't have any follow-up here. They might be in good shape. They don't have a Nexus of Fate, that's for sure. Because we can kill a bird and attack Teferi, which I think I want to do. We get the Teferi off the table, hopefully, if they don't have any removal. They might have another Settle of Wreckage, they might have another, like, Revitalize or something. I think they would have just cast Revitalize. Okay. So we got that taken care of. With Vraska Golgari Queen in play, I don't think there's a reason to save a land in hand. So now they get to go after our Vraska, but it's not that effective. It ticks up +2 every time, so... So I think what I'm going to do is attack with a Phoenix, and then sacrifice the Phoenix. Another Vraska Golgari Queen. Okay, well I don't really want to play that, so we can shift a turn. And now we have a blocker for bird illusions. Not even real birds. Fake birds. Let's go get our Phoenix back. Kind of a cute little trick. Attack with the bird. Our birds are better than their birds.
An unfortunate casualty.
How about some bird action? Seeker Squire, not the greatest, but I think I'm gonna play it. Ha! We run into a problem. They have Absorb in their deck. Okay, so now this means they get to attack Vraska to 1. They want to. These Mystics have been very good. Causing a lot of problems. A little bit similar to like Moloku. Don't know what they're doing here, but I will go ahead and block here. Yeah.
That got my attention.
Lyra Dawnbringer would be very good for them, given what we have in play. Nothing from our opponent. Okay. That's an interesting one. Let's attack. Gotta get these chip shots in here. Pick up. Draw a new card. Cash in the Phoenix. Same old song and dance. Blood Grip's not the best. The thing is that I'm kind of hoping that they spend a lot of time trying to kill this Vraska, because we have another one that's really not doing anything for us. Oh my god, how many lands do they have? They've got 10 mana, so they can syncopate for 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. So if I play this Blood Crypt untapped, we can Carnage and play around Syncopate. So I may as well, they're not really attacking our life total. I don't think that using the Carnage, or the Carnival part, is that good of an idea. Disdainful Stroke. Looks pretty good here. And we'll say go. Another Mystic, so that's going to be a problem. But I'm glad that we got rid of that Disdainful Stroke before they had a third Mystic in play. So there goes our Vraska.
I was getting bored anyway.
No Teferi's to speak of. Overgrown Tomb is not the greatest for us. I think I will play Vraska. Okay. I'm gonna stop doing the Phoenix trick because I think I want both blockers back. So we're gonna do the Forest here. Draw District Guide. Has District Guide got targets? No. Still worth playing, I think. Could run into Essence Scatter, but it's okay. 26 lands left, or 26 cards left in the deck. I want to say that our best out here is a Vraska Ultimate, but there are other things that we could do. 3 Murmuring Mystics is going to be a pretty significant problem, though. But at least they can't effectively attack Vraska right now. That was a really good draw. That's really good. The fact that Murmuring Mystic is a 1/5 is really a problem. So we get to eat some of our opponent's birds if they attack. We didn't want to. Let's sacrifice a land and try and draw a card here. Not a good one. So the Vassal is going to get taken down this turn. It's going to cost them some bird tokens, though. In fact, if we had one removal spell, it would actually let Vraska survive, but...
It's not often I'm outmaneuvered.
Opponent has 25 cards in the library. We have actually fewer. Wow. I have another Murmuring Mystic in hand. Okay. So if they attack us with everything, we take 6, and they lose 2 birds. Quite the game here, but I think we're a little out of it at this point. Looks like they cut Wilderness Reclamation. Okay. Alright. Let's see if this works. Could just be a counterspell in hand for them. No. Okay. So.
Never seen water
up.
burn, no fire.
They get to discard a card there. We have 2 blockers, so Angrath is still gonna die to the birds. We're gonna take out 2 birds and we take out a card while we do it. So it's worth doing. Not the greatest.
Best start thinking
There goes Angrath.
fast. You're on your own.
Sumala Wood Shaper. Get a creature and put into your hand. There's a Search for Escanto, which is really good for them. There's another Murmuring Mystic. Just what the doctor ordered. Thank you very much, my friend. I don't think I want that around. Yep. Just gonna say go. Don't really feel like attacking. Okay. That resolves, which is a huge deal.
No fire, no steel.
Alright. So now we have outs. And our outs are Angrath Ultimate. They're gonna lose a lot of birds to try and attack this Angrath. However, any instant or sorcery, they get 4 more. So it's not looking extremely likely that we get out of this one. Angrath goes to 1. Alright, what's your last card?
No fire.
So it looks like actually they have exactly enough birds to take down Angrath. And the thing is that they automatically reload on birds if they have any instant or sorcery. Okay, so Angrath down. New plan. Oh, where were you 1,200 turns ago? Let's just attack. Growth Spiral. That's a problem. Like, I don't think that using my Bedevil on a Murmuring Mystic was a really good plan there. I think we just needed to leave it. Anything else over there? Doesn't look it. Could get in for some damage here. Alright, whatever. With them at 3... Settle the Wreckage would be really good for them. Any instant or sorcery would be really good for them. But they definitely need to block here. Yeah, okay. We got a lot of blockers. Just go ahead and put that out there, that they got some blockers. So, they would be down a couple of birds if we had hit a Mystic. What's Vivian here?
Lest balance comes.
Okay, so... pretty interesting spot. They have to attack Vivian with a lot of creatures in order to kill it. They hold a couple back. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I guess I could have played around a counterspell by just bedeviling a bird token before they drew a card. Oh, it's my go, huh? I think we're going to bedevil a bird. Looks like they didn't have a counterspell for it.
Oh, so it's going to be like that.
Okay. So if they didn't have a counterspell for that bedevil, then I'm guessing they don't have a counterspell for this bedevil. And... unless they have Settle the Wreckage... Okay, wow. Well, that was a pretty crazy match. Very interesting. Hey, that's a great card. Yeah. Really crazy match. That first one slipped away from them probably because they messed up with their Nexus, their mana and their stops or whatever, but we... I don't know, we'll take it. Interesting sideboard package there. Somali Wood Reader, they went in for all 4 copies of Murmuring Mystic. And they kind of almost got us, but we had enough good stuff, enough phoenixes. So yeah, very cool. All right, let's go to round 4. All right, here we are for round 4. The Kilburn King. I'm gonna keep this. Clearly, we're looking for a green mana here, but we've got our Seeker Squire. These Explorer creatures are really important for this deck. Like, I don't think this would be a keep if I didn't have Seeker Squire. If I didn't have more chances to hit a land and get lucky here. Seeker Squire. For another Seeker Squire, no thanks. Might as well try and draw the forest itself. Watergrave Mountain. So, to me, this is probably going to be just like an Is It Drake's deck, but with the Watergrave in there for a... just for the splash on the other end of Dispersal here. I think that's probably what this most likely is. Or it's just straight up Grixis. So not hitting our land drop there was pretty crucially bad. And looks like we might just be not in this game. Spit Flame, I think that's awesome. I think that is super cool. I think Spit Flame is a really underrated card. And I'm guessing we're getting Nicol Bolas here, if I had to guess. It's the most likely thing. No, looks like this is a Sarkhan, right? Dragon's Horde? What in the world? Alright, well. I guess I just cast Finality here. I'm not holding up mana for anything. So I think we just cast, or not cast Finality, cast Find. We're probably going to have to go to discard, though. So oh, are we getting Spell Pierced? Quenched. Oh, because they got an extra mana there. Okay. Fair enough. I guess that's not even that bad for us, then. We got a card out of their hand, and whenever you play a... you can draw cards if you... okay, interesting. Alright. I'm going to play District Guide. We're going to go to Forest. See what they do here. So when they play dragons, they get a counter, and then they can tap to remove a counter to draw a card. This is going to be Chemister's Insight. I think we're in trouble. Oh, another Spit Flame. Okay, alright. So any dragon, any Bolas or anything like that would be a real problem for us. But if they just go, like, land go... ooh, boy, that's really good for them. Take 5. Okay, luckily we've got Vivian Reed action here. We can also do something with, like, Carnival Carnage. Oh, they get the Spit Flames back. Holy crap. Alright, so Vivian and Angrath are going to have to take this game down for us, I think. So let's get out. Let's play the Vivian to shoot down the dragon. Vivian's gonna have her work cut out for her here. Between the 2 copies of Dragon's Horde, bunch of flying creatures. It's not looking great, but I think we kind of have a lot of stuff going on. Got a lot of discard spells. Sarkhan the Fireblood. Sure.
What know you of
Here's where Carnival Carnage is much worse than Blightning, though. In the old days, you could Blightning Sarkhan the Fire, or a Planeswalker, but that's not the case anymore. Another copy of Dragon's Horde, okay?
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's Branch Walker. And then, what are we doing? I think I'm Angrathing here. Angrath is good because it'll threaten any creature that they play can attack Sarkhan if they play another Demanding Dragon or something like that. So I think that is going to be my play here. So yeah, Angrath. Pick up.
No fire, no.
I think our opponent's deck is very cool. Dragon's Horde. Yeah, that's a good card in this matchup. Let's play We've got Crag and ship the turn. Dragon Egg. Counts as a dragon. Wow, that's pretty good. Luckily we have Lava Coil though. It's actually really funny against Angrath, isn't it? I can just steal it and get a 4/4. It's just a 2/2. That's hilarious. So they get basically 5 cards every time they draw a dragon.
Bolus told me I should do this.
That's outstanding. Okay, they don't want Sarkhan anymore. What's -7? 4 5/5s, huh? It's kind of a lot of 5/5s. So, let's see what we get with Vivian here. I don't think it's right to minus it on any of these. Get a Phoenix. Yeah, I think I want to take this Dragon Egg. They could Spitflame it themselves, though. Didn't really think of that. Okay. And now they get to get there. Now they get to get it back. Wow. That's really good. Okay, so they get 2 Spitflames. Man. This is a really cool deck. This is going to be a problem to try and beat it. That is for sure. I think I want to Lava Coil this now and probably play Rekindling Phoenix. We need to try and hit this Sarkhan somehow, but they're drawing a million cards. I don't really picture us actually winning this game. They have their own Lava Coils, okay, so that's going to be good. And they're drawing a million cards. Hopefully they don't have a haste creature.
I need this.
I haven't seen anything black out of their deck, so I'm just kind of like waiting for the Nicol Bolas to come into play here, but I guess not. All right, Chupacabra, which would be good. So we can hit a Dragon's Horde with Vivian. Might be what we actually kind of need to do here.
No steel.
Just gonna discard the Spitflame. So good. Let's see. We'll hit the Dragon's Horde and it's got a counter on it. They're just drawing so many cards, it's really problematic. And then we're gonna play a Phoenix. And a Branch Walker. Sure. Could have played around that, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I think I'm happy trading Quench there. Now they could Spitflame here. Didn't want to. So I guess that means they... Right, you would just... If you had a dragon in your hand, you would just Spit Flame, cast the dragon, Spit Flame the token. I would imagine. Okay, well, they have a better option, I guess. Sarkin's on 6, so that's a problem. Carnival actually will keep it off for a turn. I would love to draw a Bedevil someday here. That would be fantastic.
I know what I'm doing.
A Dragon's Egg was a really big deal. So Demanding Dragon isn't a huge problem. Districts guy is not what we want, so I think that's... unfortunately, we have to use Carnival on the Sarkin.
No fire, no...
Unless we draw... Oh, we could draw... we could Vivian into the Firewheeler. That would save it off for a turn. Interesting. I wonder what my opponent is thinking about here. What is a 10, by the way? So these Angrath Hiccups aren't... They're pretty useful. 4 5/5s. Oh my gosh. Explosion for 4. Targeting Vivian. Doing it now. Interesting time to do that. But yeah, that's a problem.
Ha! I see. Meet my newest friend.
We did not hit... what we wanted. So let's go Branch Walker. I think we can play District Guide, then Branch Walker, then we have to ping Sarkin. The Branch Walker. Gonna bin that and then Link.
You think you're a warrior?
Fire Mountain. Alright. They're at 9. Kind of have some problems here unless they have... Like, they kind of got to get rid of our Angrath. And they also kind of have to get rid of our creatures. The Spit Flame makes that pretty... not a problem. I really wish we had an island in play. Then if they played Nicol Bolas, we could steal it. No, Nicol Bolas doesn't work like that. Never mind.
They are coming.
2 mana. Wow. They want 2 more mana? Even though they have 12 mana in play? That's scary. Blue, black, and a red. Colorless for Raven's Chupacabra, or for Nicol Bolas. That gets rid of our Chupacabra, so I probably should have just held that mountain in my hand. That's not good. This flips, it can hit Planeswalkers. It sure can. So that's also not good. But they're at... You know, we're attacking them for a lot of damage. I don't know if we can deal 4 damage in 1 turn here. Anyhow. Anyway here. They can... Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if they don't have removal for our creatures, we usually kind of have them dead here. That'd be pretty crazy. If we draw Firewheeler. Or another Angrath. Lava Coil's not going to do it. Yep, so let's tick up. And the plan here is just going to be to try and put them to 2. And hope to top deck either Angrath or Firewheeler. Carnage does it too, though, doesn't it? If this resolves. If this damage hits. Probably won't have another spin. Okay. So they go to 5, and... So... If they choose to not target Angrath, and we draw exactly Carnage. Carnival Carnage. The one of in the deck.
Your end has
then we might win. It's a lot of triggers. Okay. Oh wow, it makes 5/5 dragons, 4 of them. Okay. Yeah, using the -3 on the Angrath was really a problem. I feel like we would have been in much better shape this game if we had not done that. We could have alternatively lava coiled. Okay, this is getting out of control. I think they can, like, you gotta kill this, right? I guess you can. Okay, I guess they're actually going to just kill the Angrath, so they have enough card draw along with the Niv-Mizzet to just get it. Alright, so let's see. I think Contempt looks good. I think Rontodon seems fine. I like Golgari Queen. Cast Down seems pretty good. Carnival Carnage was not doing it for me there. They have so much resilience against discard spells, and they also have so much resilience against, like, they don't have any 1 toughness creatures. Do I want Duress? The thing is that, like, I don't know, it's good against not very much. I don't want Shivan Fire. I don't think I want Find Finality. Probably cut a couple of Seeker Squires. We actually need one more card in the deck, don't we? I think we'll go with Brontodon. Yeah, just something that can attack Sarkhan effectively. This looks okay to me. I think the Fire Wheeler is good. I think the Fire Wheeler is good. It's a big creature that needs a removal spell and hits a Sarkhan. Probably not as good as Midnight Reaper though, I guess. You know, let's just do something like that and that. They have the Dragon's Hordes, which is a pretty good target. I like in this matchup, I think that I will just be, you know, if it was just a 3 mana artifact that added mana, then I wouldn't worry about using a Brontodon to target a Dragon's Horde. We're gonna need some help with this hand, obviously. Gonna need some green sources. Man. We're gonna make our district guides be dead, aren't we? Can't cast the Brontodon, so I'm gonna bin it. Devil's rough. We're gonna Seeker Squire here, probably right into a Quench, but that's okay with me. I do think the Quench is pretty good. So now we have enough mana to play Bedevil next turn if we want to. Stomping Ground's a great draw, so let's see if we can just slam this Phoenix. Another Quench, okay. So now they will need a third or else we get to Vivian. Bolas would be really good for them though. So we actually have to discard this Bedevil, which sucks. But we got what we wanted out of the deal. Let's do that.
No one said restoration was painless.
And attack. Okay. So 5 mana, this could be Demanding Dragon. Could also be Skargan Hellkite. That's a problem. Yep. Gonna lose that card. It's very on theme, too. We have one basic left in the deck. So let's Vivian.
The wilds are my shield.
Take a Brontodon, which is perfect. Oh man, I was supposed to do it earlier. God. I was like, oh, wait till their end step. No, it's their upkeep. That was a huge mistake. We're gonna lose a District Guide, I think. I think I'd rather have Branchwalker than District Guide. Pretty huge mistake there. Demanding Dragon. We're gonna take 5, but that's okay. I'm really impressed with this card. I think it's really good. It doesn't see a lot of play. Let's Branchwalker. That's fine. I guess alternatively what we should have done there is...
This is nothing.
No, I mean, that's fine. I was gonna use the Vivian to do that anyway, so... Now they're in a spot where, like, Nicol Bolas isn't that good for them. Removal isn't that good for them. They can have Lava Coil, though, that's for sure.
Show you unhinged.
We're gonna pitch Dragon's Horde. I'm not going to worry about their life total right now. Could be a Quench. I'm kind of okay with that. Saint Stroke's fine too. Okay. So we're in a position where they need to not draw creatures for us to be in good shape here, but... Okay, so we drew a card off of that, so good job, Midnight Reaper. That's a great card to draw. Alright, so now we're in okay shape. They don't have enough to play Bolas, get back Spitflame, and cast it. And they are dead. Dobbsaroni Pepperoni. Okay. So that went pretty well. Can't complain. Even though I punted pretty miserably. Don't think that I want to change anything about this configuration. Yeah, I think we're all right here. Vivian Reed was an all-star. I don't think I want Duress. I think there's too high of a likelihood. Like, it seems like Duress would be good here, but I think there's just too high of a likelihood that they have a hand with no instant sorceries in it. Like, it's good against Quench, you know, to Duress it out of their hand, but I think it's dangerous to draw. We gotta ship this, unfortunately, and this sucks, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna ship that away. So I think that the best play here is actually to play Mountain. I wonder if Lava Coil should be in the deck still. Maybe not. If we draw Woodland Cemetery, it'd be pretty sad. But no, we did not. Okay, so now I'm just going to play the Swamp. So now either Woodland Cemetery or Rootbound Crag will enter the battlefield untapped. If we draw one of those. Overgrown Tomb enters the battlefield untapped as well, so that's good for us. I shock this. Okay. Like that. Playing Opt. Sure. Okay. So luckily we have our red source here, the Dragon Skull Summit, which is great. We're pretty insulated against Sarkin. Demanding Dragon could be a problem, but not even really that much, because we can just go Branchwalker or Cast Down next turn, if they do that. The fact that they get to see that it's a Phoenix on top is kind of rough. Just Harkin. Okay. That means they know that they need to like keep their lava coil around to get rid of it.
Don't doubt my methods.
That being said, I think they only have Spit Flame and they have Spit Flame and they have Lava Coil, and I think that's it for removal. So alternatively, we could go Branchwalker, hold up Cast Down. Might have been the better play. Might have even been better than playing the Dragon Skull Summit, but at least like they have to spend their turn getting rid of this. So we have plenty of ways to make it so like, or they have Quench, or they have Quench. Okay. So removal spell on the Branchwalker would be obviously really good
I will call
at this point.
the dragons.
Going for mana, so here's a Bolas. We're pretty flush with answers to that card though. So I'm gonna lose our Branchwalker here. Let's cast Lava Coil. We have Negate. Spit Flame, sure. Okay. So that's clearly really good with Sarkin on the table. However, we've got Siege Gang Commander if we ever draw land. I don't think we're going to win this one. If I had to guess right now. I wonder if our opponent just happens to have not drawn a bunch of dual lands right now. I think that's just the case, is that they haven't drawn any. We saw a bunch of them in the first and second games. Sometimes I wonder though when I'm playing against a player who's got like kind of a brew, you know, if they are just like not playing, they just haven't crafted dual lands yet.
Madness. What madness?
That's not gonna help. So now clearly I wish that I had held on to the Merfolk Branchwalker. That's a problem. So I think we get like one shot at a green source here, or else we're probably done for. Sarkin's on 4. And we have to hope that they don't have Quench. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. Okay. Alright, well, we're 3-1. Lost to a pretty cool deck there. Yep. Not much else to say about that one. Alright. It was a very cool deck. I thought it was really nice. And interesting. I mean, if that, you know, becomes a deck that people play, then I would have to imagine coming up with a better plan to fight it. But in the meantime, we are 3-1. Let's go to the next. Okay, we are in round 5 here. 3-1. So we've got our money back so far. The opponent goes first. I don't love this hand, but we are pretty flush with answers to their early stuff. So I'm going to keep this. And that's kind of what I didn't want to see. But okay, that's a great draw. I'm going to play Overgrown Tomb tapped, and then I'll probably play Mountain Branchwalker next turn. The idea is going to be to try and not play the forest early here. Although if they have a like a turn 3 Vivian Reed, I think we are pretty screwed. Nope. Well, that's good for us. That's very good for us. I'm going to attack. I would love to trade here. That would be fantastic. I don't want to play the forest because I want to play Firewheeler next turn. So we're going to play Blood Crypt and District Guide for... You know what? Blood Crypt might have been wrong. Blood Crypt might have been the wrong land to play there. But we're going to take action here, and I'm going to go get a Swamp. It might have been right to play the Stomping Ground instead. That's because I'll have to take 2 later on to do any green mana. Alright, so Firewheeler that and attack Vraska with these seems to be our only really good option, which isn't to say it's a good option. But turn 4 Vraska on the play is going to be pretty problematic. Didn't have Devil in our hand. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Well, that means they have a ton of mana, though, now. If they just put it all into a big Crassus, then I would be ecstatic, though, because we get to kill the Crassus and kill Vraska. Yeah, okay. Alright. So... here we go. Now they got, I mean, they draw a million cards off of that, obviously, but, like, right now, this is kind of our best route to victory, anyway. Overgrown Tomb, go ahead. Incubation Drift. So Bronzodon's bad here, but I don't know. That's kind of a weird... There's a lot of stuff they could have done with their mana that turn, and they didn't. They also tapped interesting with their Memorial. Maybe they're just kind of hanging on to a Crassus. They're gonna like adapt here and then Crassus for a million. No attacks. I guess I have no reason not to just play the Seeker Squire. What am I doing? Sure. Okay. So that's a lot of land. And they have a lot of mana available to them. So let's see if they Crassus here. Okay, so you know what's funny? This looks really good for them, but they're dead to Angrath if we draw it. That's not going to do it for us. How amazing would that have been? This is like an almost unwinnable game, and then we would have just stolen it out of thin air. Another Vraska. Sure. Okay. Lots of little fish people. The goal here is going to be to draw that Angrath, though still, it would still be really good. Wouldn't win the game for us. No, just a bunch of land, we're dead. Okay. tough way to go out. Bring in Castan, Vraska's Contempt, Vraska. Take out Brontodon. Those are bad. I do want the Carnival. Siege Gang, I can give or take, and then a couple Secret Squires. They didn't play... Usually if you have Incubation Druid, you probably don't have Wild Growth Walker. They might have both. We didn't see the Wild Growth Walker. Either way, I think Lava Coil is pretty good in that scenario. So, the thing is that Shivan Fire is a lot better if they have Incubation Druid. I'm not really in love with that card, though, for this matchup. That was kind of tough. Pretty action-light hand. This is a pretty action-heavy hand. We'll ship that, and I also don't think we can keep this one. It's tough. I mean, if the top card is Stomping Ground, we're in really good shape, but I don't think I like it enough. This one's a keep. Gotta ship that. This would be a pretty tough way to go out. Okay. Alright, we're doing stuff. Alternatively, we could have cast Cast Down on the elf, but... Ooh. Nah, we need to hit land drops. I mean, that's really cool and all, but... Binning Vraska's Contempt. That's not a good sign. Vraska's Contempt is a pretty good card. No lands. Yeah. Pretty rough beats here. It's too bad, because I really like playing this matchup. It's really fun. But we did kind of steal this same matchup a little earlier. By an opponent with pretty poor draws. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Alright, are we done? I mean, we're taking 6 here. If I draw a red source, I can play a Phoenix, get it killed by the Choop. Play another one the next turn and be dead to they're also making a 2/2 here, so yeah, I think we're good. All right, little tough here. I think not the greatest of draws in either of those last 2 matchups. The Dragons deck was very cool. Posed a lot of problems for us, and that match was just kind of a couple of non-games, so that sucks, but that's kind of how it goes. In the meantime, we were able to take all the other ones, including Esper Control that just kind of lost its internet connection, and Nexus of Fate that forgot how to play Nexus of Fate, but it all kind of worked out for us. Yeah. I think the deck, it felt good. It felt good. Like, I don't know about Carnival Carnage necessarily. I'm trying to think of things that are removal spells that are effective against mono blue and effective against other stuff like that. The red decks. Good in the early game, good late. What are the cards that are good early and good late? And this was okay. It was okay. We didn't draw it very often, and when we did, it was against that Dragons deck, and it just happened to be like between Spit Flames and having all big creatures like Carnage and Carnival both did nothing against it. But Um, I think it's a good place to start. Just the one copy of Fine Finality felt great to me, although, you know, every time you run into Selesnya, it's like, man, I really wish I had more Finalities in my deck. But at least, you know, if we're doing that, then we're probably drawing a lot more like Carnival Carnages, other stuff that gets us out of the early game. This stuff felt pretty good. A couple of Brontodons felt good. Yeah. Like I like where we're at here. Like a one of Siege Gang, a one of Fine Finality. These kind of like late game Haymaker cards. I think Freewheeler is pretty good. Like in the matchups where it's just a creature, it's a pretty good one. And in the matchups where it's like a huge tempo swing, it's like amazing. It blocks much better than Chupacabra, and it kills creatures. Like lots of times, you know, I want to hit a Thief of Sanity or something anyway, so why don't I get a 4/3 and deal 2 damage to my opponent instead of using a Chupacabra on it, you know? So I really like Firewheeler. That being said, I think probably this is a pretty good split. Yeah. That's where we're at, I think, with this. I liked everything about the deck so far, and yeah. Pretty happy so far. So yeah, thanks for watching. Check back in later for some more Jund, and we'll try and get up to 5 wins next time.